Yeah, Ken, I don't know, man. I don't know if this is going to work out for me. I don't like writing. See, I knew you were going to say that. This is what I said to you. You can hire somebody, see? I can read your mind, you know. I can tell you're going to say that. This is what people say to me all the time. Ken, I don't think I'm a good writer. How about getting somebody else to do it for you? Hey guys, today I'm going to talk to you about how I would invest £10,000. I've had this one actually requested by quite a number of people in our comments. So thanks for asking me to make today's video. If you're someone who's interested in how to invest £1,000 or £100, smaller amounts essentially, I've made previous videos for you guys to check out. I'll link to them below and above. But today we're investing a much larger amount. We're investing £10,000. And today I want to share with you guys 3 ideas for what I would actually invest my money into. Now, it's worth bearing in mind that what you invest your money into really depends on your stage of life and your outlook, as well as what goals you want to achieve in your life. And because I'm the one making this video, I'm sharing this from my own perspective, just kind of give you an insight into some of the things that I'm thinking about as potential investments. I'm actually at a stage of life where I'm exploring things. I'm at a stage of exploration and just trying to learn things that I think are important, things, acquiring skills that I call freedom skills, skills that will be life-changing if you wanted to acquire those skills as well. So the ideas I'm sharing on today's video are really intended to almost open up your imagination. I'm not going to be talking about the usual things. I will not, sorry to disappoint you, I will not be talking about the stock market or about cryptocurrency. We've made videos on those various things, those various topics, which again, I'll link to below and above. But today I really want to take you on a bit of a journey. I'll tell you a few stories to illustrate the 3 things I'm going to be sharing on today's video. If you're loving the sound of today's video, you're loving the vibes, I'd love for you to hit that like button, give me a signal, show some love for the effort and the work we put into our videos here on YouTube. Now, the theme for the 3 ideas I'm going to be sharing today are based around ownership and control, okay? Now, these are 2 very important themes because when you think about wealth building, people who build wealth over time, the best case scenario is that they've got both ownership and control. When you invest your money in the stock market, for example, you invest your money, and your money goes into funds or into stocks and so on, you essentially have ownership in companies. But what you don't have though is control, because when you invest your money in the stock market, it's gone into the stock market and you kind of watch it and see what happens. Same with crypto or same with many other asset classes. But the ideas I want to explore today are ideas that have the potential to truly multiply the amount of money that you put in, whilst also giving you that element of ownership and that element of control. But to explore the very first idea, let's take a step back. I kind of want to tell you a bit of a story. Back in 2008, a guy called Kevin Kelly wrote an article that became really like world popular, on the internet, essentially, called 1,000 True Fans. In essence, to summarize what the article said, and I read this article back, I think around 2010 or 2011. And back then, it was just an idea that got sown in my mind. Just as I'm making this video, and I'm hoping that the ideas I'm sharing today will be sown in your mind as well. And when I read that article, the summary of the article essentially says that in order to make money as a creator, like a purpose-led creator, what you need is about 1,000 true fans who would pay you around $100 a year. Okay, so $100 from 1,000 people, multiply them, you'd have $100,000. Okay, very simple concept. But for me, it was such a revelation because I hadn't quite seen things from that perspective. And at this very moment in time, before I reveal the very first thing I'd invest my money into, I wanted to just ask you a question. Can you imagine a world where you're not being paid from one source of income every month? You're not being paid from your employer, but you are potentially being paid by up to 1,000 people in a year. Pause for a moment. Even if you had to pause this video just to think about it, I'd love you to do that. Just think about it for a moment. The only thing that enables that makes that a possibility is the likes of the internet. So if I had to invest £10,000, the very first thing I would invest my money into is into a purpose-led membership. Okay, a purpose-led membership business or side hustle is what I would invest my money into. But let me tell you why I would do it. Okay, and why I think if you're someone who's watching me right now and you're thinking to yourself, oh, I'd love to create something one day that will give me really consistent, sustainable side hustle income every single month, or something that might even rival my job and replace my job one day, essentially giving you the option to do whatever you want, earning money consistently. If you're someone who's watching me, then this is something that would appeal to you. So how did I come across this concept in the very first place? So I'm going to share 3 pieces of information that led me to it. The very first one was that article I talked about, the 1,000 True Fans. I read that years ago, and the idea was sown in my mind, okay? The next piece of information, the next piece in the puzzle that brought me into this world, and I'm going somewhere with this, was when I read this book, Think and Grow Rich, okay? And if you've got this book, if you've not read it, I really recommend this book. It's definitely worth your while. It's old, it's written from the past, but this book, I go back to it just to, there's some timeless principles in this book that I think will be life-changing if you actually read them yourself, okay? And this book, if you turn to the chapter 5 on specialized knowledge, okay, and this book's at page 116. I'm going to read you a paragraph and then we'll go to my third piece of information that will bring this all together and tell you why I think this is something that you should absolutely be exploring yourself. He says, on specialized knowledge, he says, there are 2 kinds of knowledge. One is general and the other is specialized. General knowledge, no matter how great in quantity or variety it may be, is of but little use in the accumulation of money. The faculties of the great universities possess, in the aggregate, practically every form of general knowledge known to civilization. Most of the professors have but little to no money to themselves. They specialize, and this is the key point, and we're going somewhere with this, they specialize on teaching knowledge, but they do not specialize, and this is the key point, they do not specialize on the organization or the use of knowledge. That there's a very important point to bear in mind. The organization or the use of knowledge, okay? So this is my second piece of the puzzle. So I've read your first one, the Kevin Kelly article, 1,000 True Fans, and I've got a concept of, interesting, $100, 1,000, very interesting concept. Then I've come across a piece on specialized knowledge. I'm thinking to myself, okay, interesting. So again, I read this, I think it must have been maybe 5 to 7 years ago, okay? Then I came to my third piece, okay? Sharing with you guys, okay? It's this book, and I've shared this book before, but I don't know how many of you actually listen to what I share sometimes. Like, I often feel my most important pieces of information are in the least viewed videos on our channel, okay? Because there's some really life-changing things in those videos. Anyway, this book called Automatic Customer says, Creating a Subscription Business in Any Industry by John Warrillow. I'll link these books below for you guys to go and check them out. And what's interesting about this book is that this book, basically, another piece of the puzzle came for me. And this book, when you turn to part 1, says something really life-changing for the right type of person who's watching this video. It says, pay attention, it says, subscribers are better than customers. Let that sink in for a moment. It says, here's paragraph. It says, why are Amazon and Apple and many of the most promising Silicon Valley startups leveraging a subscription business model? In part 1, this is part of this book, we will look at how automatic customers make your company more valuable and a whole lot more enjoyable to run. And obviously you carry on, and this book then goes into a chapter 3, the membership website model. Okay, there are 9 models in this book that are shared. Why am I sharing all this? I'm sharing all this to basically tell you that all through my life, I've realized that I've acquired a number of what I would call freedom skills. Okay, the very first freedom skill I can think of acquiring was the skill of walking. I was crawling once upon a time in my life, and then I started walking. That walking gave me the opportunity to just go away and have some independence, run around and do my own thing as a child. Then over time, I started to get into a career. I learned accounting and finance and learned how companies work. I learned how balance sheets work, how P&Ls work. And that gave me a different type of freedom in my understanding of how companies work. And then over time, I acquired a third freedom skill, the skill of investing. Gave me the opportunity to start to put money into assets like the stock market and various things like that. But I understood investing from a different perspective, and it gave me the opportunity to let my money go to work for itself and bring me back dividends from lots and lots of different people. But in 2020, before the pandemic hit, I acquired yet another freedom skill. And that freedom skill is a skill of building membership businesses. We launched Financial Joy Academy. For the first time ever, I built my first membership, a life-changing platform, purpose-led, keywords, a purpose-led membership business. Now, why does this matter? You're watching and thinking, Ken, why is it this is a thing you would invest in? Well, number one, it's purpose-led, as I mentioned before. But the beauty is that you build, you multiply, i.e. it's true multiple streams of income, because it's income from lots and lots of different people, because you are helping them achieve a particular outcome in their lives. And then you can then look to grow those profits that you make from that side hustle, or even that small membership business that you might have created for yourself. This idea alone is one that I think anyone watching right now, because you're probably thinking how can I do something like this? Oh, how does it relate to me? Well, the way it relates to you is that you possess specialized knowledge. Okay? Everybody watching this possesses specialized knowledge. But the key, as I read to you guys earlier, is in how that knowledge is organized and how that knowledge is deployed. Coming back quickly to this book, just to read you this piece, this is important. Please bear with me, because this really matters. This could be live. In fact, this will be life-changing for you. Not it could be. Listen to this. He says, knowledge will not attract money unless it is organized and intelligently directed through practical plans of action. Okay, so it's not just about sharing knowledge, it's about how that knowledge is organized and directed. In this case, with a membership platform, you are basically organizing and directing knowledge in an intentional way. That's why I keep using the word purposeful, in an intentional way to serve people and serve many people. You're not spending more money to serve more people because you've built the right thing. You could start with 50 people or 100 people, but the more this thing grows, hence the idea from Kevin Kelly about 1,000 true fans, the more this thing grows, the true cost of running that platform actually decreases on a per unit basis. If this is sounding like it's kind of going over your head, then do you know what? I'm actually going to be starting later this month teaching this actual skill that I've acquired, this freedom skill. And it's not, I know it's not for everybody, but it's an idea, like I said to you guys, I kind of want to just open your imagination. And I know only a very small segment of our audience will understand what I'm saying and truly see the potential. If you're one of those people who really starting to kind of, your mind starting to work, you start to think, well, actually, I can build, I can multiply, diversify my income, and I can even invest those incomes. If you're really thinking like that, then, and you want to learn more about what I'm talking about, I'm going to put a link below and above. Feel free. But this, like I said to you, will not be something that will appeal to everybody. But if you're someone who's listening right now, you've got expertise in an area, and I believe the vast majority of you guys do. If you do, then this is something that I honestly believe will be life-changing. If you go and explore it by yourself, I'm just sharing the ideas. You don't have to contact me. Please don't, because otherwise, I don't want to be flooded by people contacting me and asking questions. What I'm saying is you've got the idea, go and do your own research. I've given you books, I've given you, resources, go and learn. But if you're that person who is thinking slightly different and you're like, do you know what, I want to hang out with Ken and actually learn a bit more about this, and I'll put a link below and above to something we're starting, just be more specific. It'll be with only 12 people. And it'll be over 3 months actually implementing what I'm talking about from the very beginning, from zero idea to actually completely implementing it over a 3-month period. Okay, so my second idea, and I'm only doing 3 because I'm going into detail with each one of these ideas. The second thing I would do, and before I share it, I want to tell you the backstory. So every Monday at 5 a.m. GMT or BST, depending on what time of year we're in, every Monday at 5 a.m., I teach a session called the Monday MBA. The Monday MBA, okay? This is at our 5 a.m. club at Financial Joy Academy, okay? Every Monday. And this is a very popular session. And what do we do at this session? What I do is I teach, the people we call our dream makers. We go through a case study of how an individual made their first million. Their first million. How did they make their first million? We do a case study. And I teach it, I react, and I talk about it, and I share personal experiences, and I talk about what we've all learned as a community at 5 a.m. every Monday, okay? Now, here's what's very fascinating. This is what brings me to my very second idea of what I would invest £10,000 in. Not everyone, most of the case studies we've done, a lot of them have been online-based entrepreneurs. Online-based entrepreneurs. And what's been really fascinating about looking at those case studies is that over the last 18 months, with the pandemic and everything that's been happening around the world, what's been really fascinating is that all those online-based businesses, and I'll get to the very type I'm talking about, all of them saw a rapid increase in business growth. They all started to do well. So if I had £10,000, the thing I would explore with my money is to create a marketplace-based business. Think about it. Come on. Where do you buy your stuff? Do you go on Etsy? Do you go on eBay? These are all marketplaces. And all these marketplaces started from nothing. They were not like the big businesses that you know of today. But what you probably don't know is that there are other marketplaces. They are not necessarily the biggest marketplaces that exist based around specific niches, whether it's a marketplace for wine, whether it's a marketplace for cheese, whatever it is you're into buying, typically that might seem a bit slightly quirky or slightly odd. The thing you want to try and explore for yourself is there already a marketplace that exists for that thing that I buy? The third thing I would invest my money into, and by the way, there are other things, I'm just using 3 for this video. Third thing will be into a niche-based blog. Now, let me explain why I would do this, okay? Now, I'm very fortunate in that I'm in environments that, I know the vast majority of people can't really access. And those environments are environments where you are in things that are called masterminds, right? You're in spaces with other entrepreneurs, and you're able to kind of see, how they're making money, right? You're like, what? You're really your eyes are popping because you're like, whew, this is so interesting. So I've learned some really, really interesting things, put it that way, about how people do things, about how things work, things that don't work. And one of the things I've learned is that people who, you might hear, I talk about blogging once in a while. And the reason I talk about it is because it's how we started. Yeah. It's how you look at the Humble Penny, it's on YouTube and, it's on all these other places. But what people don't know is that the Humble Penny was actually just a blog. That was it. It's domain name, thehumblepenny.com. That was it. I was writing blogs. That was it. And learning how to generate traffic and keywords. And that was my skill. That was the training, SEO and stuff like that. And then all of that then kind of, got then applied to the YouTube platform. The thing I love about the blog is that you can create a niche blog anonymously. I always struggle with that word. I'm happy I've said it properly. And I did it first time. Yay! So you can create a niche blog anonymously. And you can actually, if you're very smart about it, this is why I said 10 grand. It's about 10 grand. I was so happy when someone said 10 grand. I was like, yes, that means I got some budget. Because with that 10 grand, what I would do is I would hire a writer. Okay. And the goal would be to pay that writer maybe £100 per article, something like that, for a thoroughly well-researched article that would drive tons of traffic based on keyword research. Okay. And my goal then would be to ultimately turn that blog into something that maybe generates around £200 per day. And that £200 per day could come from a mixture of advertising and affiliate marketing income. Okay. And that would be to start. That would be my goal. So that if I paid a writer £100, They do all the work of doing the keyword research, getting the content and stuff. I then essentially do the work of actually looking from the top and doing strategy and that sort of stuff and kind of monitoring, kind of see how things are working out. And you can create niche blogs on anything. In case you're listening to this and you're going, yeah, Ken, I don't know, man. I don't know if this is going to work out for me. I don't like writing. See, I knew you were going to say that. This is why I said to you, you can hire somebody. See, I can read your mind, I could tell you're going to say that. This is what people say to me all the time. Ken, I don't think I'm a good writer. How about getting somebody else to do it for you? Oh, Ken, I don't think I'm good at tech. I'm not techie. How about getting someone to do it for you? This is where the investing comes in, because you got 10 grand, man. Like, that's a lot of money. You could pay $2,000 max, hire someone to build, spec out the most beautiful website for you, and then with the rest of the money, start to get someone get a freelancer who can write really well, can do a keyword research and get all the stuff done for you and start to drive that traffic. And you become almost the conductor. You're kind of looking and pointing and going, yeah, do that, do that, do that, do that. And that's you. That's what you're doing. You're running the business and doing more of the strategy elements to it. Now, if you're someone who's a complete beginner and you're looking to maybe start a blog or just learn more about it and all that kind of stuff, we've got some really good resources. We've got a free course, which you can sign up to if you want. It's a 7-day kind of course, actually pretty popular. We've also got a free tutorial, which you can check out. So I will link, first of all, to the 7-day course. Feel free to sign up and kind of see how you get on. Again, all this will be delivered to your inbox. Or if you want to check out the tutorial, again, it's a link to actual blog post. Again, I don't think that even requires you signing up to anything. I'll just point here, put the article there, go and read it for yourself. It's a step-by-step tutorial to help you to get started. I'd love to know from you guys in the comments, what would you invest £10,000 in? Okay, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Even if it's a regular idea, still let me know. Jump in the comments and let me know. If you've got any questions about the things I've shared on this video, whether it's about that purpose-led membership, of which I said to you, we're building something starting this month. So excited about it. Build, multiply, invest. It's a big thing I'm starting. If you want to know more about that, I'm going to put a link below as well as above for you to feel free to join that. But note, I should mention, this is actually an advanced thing for people who are actually looking to actually make this happen, okay? So yeah, feel free to check that out. Or if you've got any questions, jump in the comments and just ask me. I'll jump in the comments, I'm in the comments all the time. In fact, I should mention, slightly trivial fact, YouTube told me that I've responded, this is a bit crazy, but we've responded to more than 10,000 comments last year. I was like, oh my God, that's a bit crazy. That's not very good for us, is it? But it's been good for our audience because, we love our audience. We get in the comments and we answer questions, which is just great. But anyway, video's getting a bit too long now, just stop. Thank you for watching today's video, guys. If you really enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, show some love to the humble penny. All right, that's it, people. I'm gonna go now and go and actually go to bed. It's like almost 11 p.m. when I'm making this video. Anyway, as ever, people, in all things, be thankful and seek joy. Take care and bye for now.